Hello and welcome to another 3-string cigar box guitar lesson. I'm Sean from Coda Guitar, and we are back on the slide for a few lessons. So I thought it might be interesting to have a look at some of the most widely used scales in pretty much any sort of rock and pop style, roots, blues, country, folk. So it's called Pentatonic scales, and they're got 5 notes in them, pentatonic. So that demo that you just heard, that was in a minor pentatonic key. Just before we get into that, let's tune up. So we're just in standard G, D, G tuning. So that's actually a power chord, as I tell you most of the time. So that's really good sort of basis to start from. So everything's in the key of G, so it's a G minor pentatonic scale. If you like this lesson, if you like any of the lessons, please consider going to the website, and there's a score for the demo that we're going to look at a little bit later on, and it'd be much appreciated if you consider buying that. It's half price for the first 7 days, just a couple of bucks, and it really helps support the channel just so we can put out sort of regular content. But what we're going to do to start with is, this is flat pick, by the way. So if this is beginner level, so if there's anything here that if I'm moving a bit too quickly, there's some links to some other lessons. So there was a classic rock one from 2020 where we were looking at flat pick playing Sunshine Your Love by Cream. That's quite a good one for this basic technique. And also slide, there's some sort of basic slide sort of technique lessons as well. But let's try and play the scale. So 5 notes. We'll start on string 1. We'll go for the high G. So that's open G. And then we're going straight to fret 3. So that's a B flat note. Straight to fret 5. That's a C. Straight to fret 7, that's a D. Fret 10 is an F, and then fret 12 isn't the 6th note, it's actually the octave of the open string. So it's what you call a high G. So an octave is when it's the same note but higher up. So that's the sound of the pentatonic scale. Because we're in G, D, G tuning, we can play exactly the same frets on the low string. So 3, 5, 7, 10, and they're low and high versions of G, B flat, C, D, F. I was just playing those together. Okay. The middle string though, that starts on a D note. So D up to F was 3 frets up here, 7 to 10. So I'm going to go from the open up to fret 3, and that is an F. And then fret 5 is actually the octave. That's the G. So D, F, G, kind of stepping up to the octave, or the sort of root note, which is the strongest note in the scale. And then 3 frets up from there is fret 8, that's a B flat, and then C, and then D. I'm not going to bother going past fret 12 because it actually just repeats. So if that's G to fret 3, I can go fret 12 and go 3 frets up, which is also a B flat. I could go up 2 frets higher, that's a C. But I mean, you may well not have enough as many frets as that anyway. That is just the notes on the individual strings. I mean, you can mix it up. You can sort of switch between strings. You can look at the fact that there's a bunch of notes on fret 3 and 5 across all 3 strings. Fret 10 and fret 12 across all 3 strings, and then it's 7 but 8 on the middle string. So just fret 7 on the top too, because it's fret 8 there. Okay, so I was just playing some random notes there, but that was all just G minor pentatonic. There weren't any other notes in there. We can also create chords. So, like I said, we've got notes that are on fret 3 and 5 across all of the strings and fret 10. So we can just turn those into chords as well. So we've got a G, which is G power chord, G, D, G. So we can play a power chord also from fret 3. So that's a B flat power chord or a B flat 5. And we can also play a power chord from fret 5. So that's a C5. I'm going to just ignore the fret 7, the D, just because only in the pentatonic. If we're playing a blues, we'll use this all the time, but because in the pentatonic scale, actually, technically speaking, it would be fret 8 on the D string. I'm just going to bypass this one. I'm going to go straight to fret 10, which is an F power chord, and then you've got the octave of the open string. So we've got 4 chords there. We've got G, B flat, these are all 5th power chords, C, C5, F5, okay. So when you're playing chords, obviously just keep your bar, your slide nice and sort of parallel in line with the frets. So we are now going to have a go at the demo. So flat picking, try and hold like this so it's coming out at a right angle. Again, there's a little bit more detail on the Sunshine You Love amongst other lessons on flat pick playing. I'm doing a bit of palm muting where we're just resting on the low string just to get a bit of separation. This is also a blues shuffle rhythm, so it's got a swung feel to it, and what that means is it's uneven. If we're just playing 2 notes in each beat, it's a long down strum and a short up strum. And it's long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. Okay, so it's a triplet rhythm because the longer down actually lasts for 2 of the 3 notes in the triplet. So it's like long, short, long, short, long, short. So I'd count it like this: 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. All right. Right. So that is the sort of rhythmical character of the whole thing. It's mostly based around that alternate picking, and so we're just adding a couple of fretted notes at the beginning. Angle in with your slide like this, so that you're not catching, and try and sort of like rest here. So it's almost like a little sort of tram line. I don't know, you're like following it up, you're keeping exactly the same angle, because once it works here, it'll work up here without catching. See, it's too flat there. So the first thing we do, we're gonna angle in. We're going to angle in and play the middle string, so we're going to slide into fret 3. So I've got a down up on the opens, and then I'm just going to play the top 2 strings here. I've got a down sliding into fret 3 on the middle string. I can play 2 strings there, straight away open, and then change the angle, slide into fret 3 on the top string, and then 2 down and ups, or a down and up at the end. So 4 beats in a bar: 1, 2, 3, 4, and do that one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and. So practice that, bar 2, we're going to cover fret 5, we're going to play all the strings. So this is now a chord. So this is a C5, I'm going to go down to B flat. So all 3 strings. You're on fret 5 and you go down, up. Second beat, I'm actually going to play a full triplet now. I'm going to play 3 notes in this beat. So I'm going to go. So that's pluck, fret 5, slide down to 3 and lift off. So if you lift off and you've got a little bit of sort of volume left, you will naturally hear the strings kind of pull off, or it's a pull off, so flick off onto the open strings. So it's 1, 2, 3. Okay, but that's on beat number 2. So it's 1, 2, and then back into 3. Finish with an upstroke on the open strings. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So that combined with bar 1 sounds a bit like this. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Right. That is a 2-bar phrase, and that's actually quite. The rest of the first section is quite similar to that. So bars 1 and 2. Bar 3 is the same. So that's the same as what we just did in bar 1. Bar 4 is the same rhythm, but instead of being on fret 5, we're starting on fret 10, which is an F. And it's just exactly the same. 1, 2. So it's the same rhythm, but I'm creating the triplet by sliding down. This is on beat 2 again. Sliding down from 10 to 5. 1, 2, and pulling off. But then we go 3, open up stroke, 4, open up stroke. So we slide into the C, fret 5. But then do the open up stroke. So line 3, sorry, which is bars 5 and 6, is the same as line 1. So it's got that ending. And then line 4, which is bars 7 and 8. So because that's a 2-bar phrase and we're playing the chords in the second bar of each phrase, what we're actually doing is we're taking the bar with the F chords and we're using that at the start of the final phrase. So this is in the 7th bar. This is at the bottom of the first page. So that's what the first one does. We just don't go 5, open, 3, open. We just stay on fret 5. So this is bar 7. Stay on fret 5. So it's actually easier in a way. And then just to finish off, so this is now the 8th bar. There's a little sort of chord stabs. We go C, B flat, G. So 5, 3, open. But it's like 1. So that's 1 and 2 and. Or you could think of them as being like on, off, off, on. That's rhythmically how that goes. Okay, so I'll do that bottom line again. So we've got F, 1, So I would definitely practice all of that separately. So it's written out as one line at a time, so one riff at a time, sorry, which is two bars. So practice each riff individually, but then just have a quick, use this as a play along. I'm going to play the first page, so the first half. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, part 2. So this is page 2, bar 9. This is all about getting that slide angle. So hopefully you've practiced that a bit. So just trying to pick out those notes on the middle string. Okay. So we're starting on fret 3. There's a little slide in, but again you can miss these slide ins until you're comfortable with it if you want. So it's down, up, and then we're going to create a triplet with a pull off. So that's 1, 2, 3. So the triplet always gives you the even 3s. We've got 1, 2, same on fret 5. So that's bar 1. So we've got okay. So that's down, up, down, up. We're still keeping that alternate strumming going all the way through. Right up to fret 10 now, and same idea. Apart from what we're doing, instead of just going pulling off to the open string and then doing an open up strum, we're actually going to dive onto fret 8 early. So we actually hit the fret 8 as the 3rd note of the triplet. So it's like 1, 2, so it's like 2 triplet, 1, 2 triplet, and then we go down, up, triplet on beat 4. So 1, 2 triplet, 3, 4 triplet. I'll play bars 9 and 10. So 1, 2 triplet, 3, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 3, 4 triplet. Okay. Next line. First bar's the same. So now the next bit, it's all pentatonic notes. Instead of playing up here, because it sounds a bit weak, to be honest. It's particularly it's difficult to slide down and get sort of purchase. This sounds more mellow. I've repositioned these notes, so 12 to 10 to 7 to 5. You know, and you can always do this when you're playing around yourself. Don't feel kind of like locked into one place. Like, you know, experiment and see how the same notes sound on different frets on different strings. So we've got 7 to 5 pull off. It's a triplet. I'm doing an upstroke to emphasize that string. And then we've got into the full B flat, all of the strings, full C. So that whole line sounds, this is bars 11 and 12, sounds like this, 3, 4. we've got a repeat. Line 3 of the second page, which is bar 13, is the same as line 1 of the second page, which is bar 9. And then we've just got an ending, which is actually very, very similar to the ending of page 1, which is fret 10, pulling off to the... But instead of sliding all the way down to fret 5 and pulling off, we're now just, it's a bit easier in a way. We're just doing a direct pull off to the open strings, so that still creates the triplet. We've got 1, 2, triplet, and then into 5, but instead of, don't play the B flat, so just go, stay on fret 5. So this is bar 15, triplet, and then at the end the stabs are very, very similar. C, B flat, G, but let's, because it's the end, let's do a little slide up on the top 2 strings to fret 12. Okay. So here is all of the second page. 3, 4. Okay, so that's it. I hope that's useful and fun to play, and it's sort of beginner level. Maybe you might need to have been playing for a little bit, have some experience. It's not absolute beginner, but once you get that nice easy strumming motion going, that's basically your groove. It's a bit, sounds like a bit of a cliched thing to say, but you can really think of a swung shuffle rhythm as being a groove. You just try and get everything to slot into that, and the only thing that happens that's different is you might actually fill the gaps out. I was talking about triplets a lot, because you just not allowing the long and short to happen. It's just like 3 notes continuously. But yeah, that's sort of easy-ish minor pentatonic lesson, and we'll do another more advanced one, and also some major ones very soon. So please check out the website, have a look at the scores, and we'll see you here again soon on Coda Guitar.